Welcome on into another episode of Film Room with Coach E. Class is now in session. We have a special guest today here to help me break down this Browns game, if you want to call it a game. We all know what happened. So, everybody, welcome Coach Hud into the Film Room. What up, Coach Hud?
What up? I'm here. I'm ready to break down some film. Let's see what we do.
Hey,
I,
the guns is gunsing.
hey
Okay.
man, I'm trying to keep them loaded.
Double barrel.
Double barrel, exactly.
Double barrel. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is week 6 of the Browns season. They went on the road to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. We all assumed that it would be a win for the Browns, us Cleveland fans at least. I don't know about everybody else out there, but us Cleveland fans, we live and die hard with the Browns. So we died hard after this game. You already know what that means. We took a loss again in week 6. We are now 1-5. We're still trying to get back on the winning ways. Hopefully, we can get some plays out of here that I can email Kevin Stefanski so he can call them the right way and we can get on the winning schneid. But, Hud, you ready to go? Break this down?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna do the best I can. We're gonna break this down and see where they blew it and where they blew it.
Yeah, because they definitely did it twice. Blew it and blew it.
All right.
All right, we're going to start right here. First play. It is 12:55 in the first quarter. It's 3rd and 5. Amari Cooper ends up dropping this pass right here. We're going to break it down and see what happened. So this formation, we have a shotgun formation. Deshaun Watson in the shotgun with Jerome Ford on his left-hand side. Then you got Njoku at the bottom of the screen by himself, down by the 3 in the third down sign. You have a trips bunch formation at the top of the screen, meaning 3 people in that triangle formation that I always talk about. They run this a lot. So let's go ahead and push play to see what happens. You got Deshaun Watson taking the snap, dropping back. Amari Cooper is wide open, coming across the formation on what we call a drag route. As you can see in the slow-mo here, Deshaun Watson takes a step back. He gets hit in the pocket. He still delivers the ball pretty good. But while we are looking at that replay, let's go back a little bit more to that slow-mo and while Deshaun Watson is in the pocket. And as you notice, our center, he is not our starting center. He is not our backup center. He is the backup of the backup center. Hinting these offensive line problems that we've been having all year, Hud. I've been talking to the people about it, and this is just rearing his ugly head.
Yeah.
And the center gets pushed back into the pocket, right onto the pile, and his leg gets caught up underneath somebody. And let's go ahead and push play once again on that slow-mo.
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson bounces, gets rid of the ball. Nick Harris gets thrown on top of Deshaun Watson. His leg is rolled up on. We end up losing him for the game. But keep watching the slow-mo. Amari Cooper bobbles it. He gets 2 hands on the ball. He usually is a sure-handed receiver. We really needed that play. It was 3rd and 5 to keep a drive going. But once again, Amari Cooper leads the league in drops. This is his 9th drop of this short year already. 9 drops in 6 games. That's very unlike him. So if you let the play a little bit, we're 40 seconds into the video here. We have the all 22 end zone shot. So we have the formation here with the tight bunch on the right is a little bit out of the camera screen. As you can see, Amari Cooper comes across the field, right across that emblem, wide open. This should be an easy first down. True enough, the ball could have been thrown a little bit better, but you are a
Mm-hmm.
National Football League receiver. There's no reason that you should not be able to make this catch. We've seen him make this catch plenty of times. So is there anything you want to interject in this, Hood?
So what we had here, we had a bunch formation up to the top. Usually, when they go a bunch formation, they're trying to cause a little confusion with the defensive backs, trying to make them run into each other a little bit. And they had a mesh concept, which they had a drag coming underneath and then a route over top. So they call that a mesh concept with the passing routes. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to clear out for one of those drag routes. And what happened was Amari Cooper wound up getting cleared out and coming across, and he just did not complete the ball. It was a pretty. It could have been a better pass, as you said, Coach E. It could have been a better pass, but it was very catchable, and that's something that he usually would come down with. But overall, it's not a bad play call. in the sense that you're trying to kind of do like a rub route kind of concept, trying to get somebody open by having another guy run into the other, having the defenders kind of run into each other, hopefully, or having the defender run into one of the receivers, which will open up a lane for or a route for the other receiver, which it did, but it just couldn't connect on the pass.
Mm-hmm.
But part of the issue with that, as you were saying, was the protection. He has to get rid of the ball quick in this concept, and he just really didn't have a lot of time. But he still had enough time where he should be able to complete a 4 or 5 yard route. And usually they get that to the receiver, and they usually run for another 10 or 15, hopefully. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way this time.
Yeah, so it's just the same story that's been happening week in and week out with this team. The easy plays are not so easy for this offense for whatever reason. It's just like it's magnified times 10 on the negative side because, like I said, that was 3rd and 5, man. We should have got that picked up and kept the drive going because that was clearly the opening drive. And usually we do pretty good with the opening drive because, Stefanski is good with those scripted plays. I don't know about the rest of the game being called, but the scripted plays, he's pretty damn good at it. But once again, like I said, Amari Cooper drops it. And to add insult to literally injury, Nick Harris ends up breaking his leg. He's getting carted off by the cart, and now he's gone for the rest of the season. So now we are literally on our 4th center. The center that finished this game didn't even play center. He moved over from the right guard position. They just asked him if he can snap. He got a couple snaps in on the sideline and went in the game and finished the game at center. So once again, that just kills the offensive line. So now you lost 3 centers, and now you lose another guard because you got to slide him over to center. And now the 3rd string guard has to be a starting guard. So at least we got our 2 tackles back, Conklin and Wills, but now the interior is a little banged up. So it's always adding insult to injury with these Browns, man.
Well, I will say this: as of the recording of this particular film room session, we won't have to worry about Amari Cooper dropping any more passes.
Yes, because he is gone. Got traded today to the Buffalo Bills for a 3rd round pick. So I'm pretty sure he's happy judging off his body language all year. So he can finally rejoice and be glad in it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
All right, going over here to play number 2. We are now 10 minutes and 15 seconds into the first quarter. It's 3rd and 6 for the Eagles. The Browns are on defense right now. Denzel Ward has a hell of a pass breakup on this play right here. We have the Eagles in the shotgun formation with trips at the top of the screen, not the tight bunch trips that we always run. They just have 3 of them in the line up there. You have 1 receiver at the bottom of the screen, running back to the right, but just deeper than Jalen Hurts, which this actually can kind of be considered as the pistol. The pistol meaning the quarterback is not as far back as the running back. So shotgun, literally everybody knows the shotgun barrel is pretty long. So that insinuates the quarterback being at least 5 yards back from the center. So with this one, he's about 2.5. So that'll make the pistol formation, with the pistol being smaller than the shotgun. So let's go ahead and roll this play, see what happens. Jalen Hurts is communicating the coverage and the package and the blitz pickup and the line protection from the Cleveland Browns defense. The ball is snapped. If you stop it right there, right when the ball is snapped, you can see the Cleveland Browns are extremely aggressive trying to get at Jalen Hurts. He sees that, so before he calls for the snap from the center, he actually moves back into the shotgun formation because he saw that they were coming with this blitz. And if he would have stayed in the pistol, he would have been too close to the defense. So he backed up to the shotgun and got even with the running back to give him a little bit more time just to get the ball off, because they are pretty much giving all signals that they are in an all-out blitz with man coverages from the corners and the safety on that inside receiver at the top of that trips. So once again, push play right there. Ball is snapped. They are in an all-out blitz. The blitzer gets into Jalen Hurts' face, which makes him pass the ball in a very high arc to get the ball over the defender that's rushing in off the end, that's unblocked, throws it up to Devontae Smith. Denzel Ward makes a hell of a play right here. The flag was thrown, but they ended up picking the flag up to take the penalty away. They just saw that he was there a little bit early, but he actually turned and looked for the ball and was fighting for the ball with DeVonta Smith, which made it not a pass interference call. But actually, I thought that could have been an interception. The ball actually did hit the ground, but when you was watching in the fast time, you really couldn't see the ball hit the ground. So I thought it was an unbelievable play by Denzel just to get his hand in there, contest the catch, and knock that ball out. That's what you pay a guy $100 million for, to be a corner like that, to be put in these situations where you can trust him and know he's going to make a play on the ball on these important plays like this. Because just like us, it was 3 and out with that previous play with Deshaun Watson throwing. So now they're third down. Now we're getting off the field as a defense to go back and rest and get the ball back for the offense. Got anything there, Huddy?
So we got third and 6 here. So the Browns are decide that they are going to show a zero blitz here, all out blitz with cover zero, but they actually kind of disguised it at the snap of the ball to the linebackers. They kind of stepped back into a zone type situation, although the corners and the secondary are still in a man type situation. So they didn't quite send everyone. They wound up trying to disguise it and they dropped a few back. But what they did get, that's a pretty risky defense. It's a high reward, high risk, high reward defense. And so, fortunately, we were rewarded. We wound up getting one-on-one down here with DeVonta Smith and Denzel Ward, which most of the time we'll take that because we feel like, oh, Denzel Ward is going to be better than most of the guys he comes against, or at least equal to, and he could probably cover that man, that receiver man to man. And in this situation, he did a fairly decent job with it. Uh, excuse me, he did a fairly decent job with it. They almost wanted to call interference on him, but upon further review, it was a pretty good play. And like you said, it did look like an interception. Actually, the commentators thought it was a reception. They were like, "Oh, great catch by Smith," when it was not a catch at all.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes when we put ourselves run these defenses, like you said, it's a high risk, high reward. If Jalen Hurts has a half a second more, that might be a touchdown because now he can get into it, get his legs into it, throw that ball a little further, and Smith can run under it. So
Mm-hmm.
when we call these types of defense, this is exactly how we want it to look. We want to get that pressure on him real quick, so he has to release the ball fast, and our cover guys don't have to cover too long, and they're able to make plays like this where he just chucks it up, and we can either knock it down or pick it off. So in this situation, that was a great defensive call by Jim Schwartz.
So that's what I was just about to say. Me being a defensive coordinator, I love this, but you really have to trust your corners and know you have the personnel at the corner position on your defense in order to run this kind of defense. Because if you just have some guys filling in that corner, this might not be the defense you want to call. Matter of fact, this is not the defense you want to call, especially with the weapons that they have on the outside, and especially being DeVonta Smith pretty freaking fast on the outside there. So any
Right,
run of the mill corner, you are not calling this defense with. But with a
right.
Denzel, Martin Emerson, a couple guys like that, definitely not Greg Newsom. Definitely not
Mhm.
him. But Martin Emerson and Denzel, I would feel comfortable with this coverage. So that was a pretty good job by Denzel recovering with his
Mhm,
speed and the
mhm.
athleticism to turn, locate the ball, get his hand up in between DeVonta Smith's hands, and knock that ball out of there. And like I said, I thought it was an interception, but apparently it wasn't. But I'll take the bat down.
Absolutely. Hey, Denzel been doing this a long time, man. His biggest Achilles heel is he just couldn't stay healthy, but he's been, knock on wood, been relatively healthy the last couple seasons. So
Mm-hmm.
this is what we expect him to do. This is what he get, like you say, he gets paid the big bucks to do. He's a shutdown corner, and he did a great job of shutting that down.
Yes, sir. Now we're going to move on to another play. It is now 4 minutes and 10 seconds, 4th and 4 in the second quarter with the Browns on offense. I'm sorry, 4th and 3, 4th and 3. And we are in the shotgun look. Deshaun Watson is all by himself back in the backfield. We have 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen, 2 receivers at the top of the screen. Looks like just pre-snap with a steal shot. It looks like the Eagles are in some kind of zone coverage, or it could be man with the help up top. But that's just a steal shot before the snap happens. When everybody gets to moving around, you really see what coverage they are in. But we are, like I said, we are in 4th and 3. So me personally, HUD, you're an offensive guy, you're a receivers coach. So you typically want to get somebody going to the sticks and turning and showing their numbers to get an easy completion, get the first down, or you want to drag route like Amari Cooper did the earlier play, or is there another situation that you would want with any kind of route concept that you would personally like?
So basically, anytime you go empty like this, you know that the defense is going to send some blitzers because you don't have that much protection. You only got your 5 guys up front, and you got a lot of guys going out into the route. You don't have a back there to help you and max protect. So when you go empty, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be throwing something quick, something to the sticks, something like a hitch or what have you. In this particular situation, he basically just had all the guys in the empty route at the bottom, the trips to the bottom, wound up running slant routes
Mm-hmm.
because he knew that the Eagles were going to be sending guys, and fortunately, Njoku wound up getting open on the slant and was able to get the first down. But
Mm-hmm.
anytime you go empty like this, most of the time, even as a defensive guy, you know, okay, they're going to try to get rid of the ball quick. So I'm kind of surprised that the guy that's over Joku is so deep. You know,
Right.
he's beyond the sticks, and it's
And
4th and 3.
and not only is he beyond the sticks, but this is a pet peeve of mine as the
Mm-hmm.
defensive coordinator. Why are you backpedaling? You
Yeah,
know where the sticks are. You don't even have a vertical threat. He's clearly looking back for the ball, so there's no
right.
reason for you to be backpedaling as a
Mm-hmm.
safety, especially against a tight end. But one
Mm-hmm.
thing Njoku does really, really good that, once again, people, this was his first game back from being injured. He had a high ankle sprain. He missed the last 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. So he was
Mm-hmm.
still kind of timid and hurt, but him having such a big body, all he had to do was turn,
Yeah.
and the safety is so small, the only way he can get to the ball is to run through his back, which would be a flag and automatic first down anyway. Or
Mm-hmm.
you can just turn, show your numbers, and make the catch as a big receiver. So that's exactly what he did. Deshaun
Mm-hmm.
Watson got the snap, got back, did the 3-step drop. As soon as that back foot came back, he released the ball. And like I said, Njoku boxed the safety out, got in front of him and made the catch. And then after the catch, he ended up getting a couple more yards after that, taking a couple people with him. Hell, that could have
Mm-hmm.
been about an extra 10 yards. So that's a big
Yeah.
play for the Browns offense. This is what we should have been doing a lot more in this game. But, like I said, Kevin goes AWOL and ape shit sometimes. So,
Yeah, I think the quick game is very much more suited to Deshaun Watson. Unfortunately, though, I did notice that they do try to do the quick game a little more, but the downside of the quick game is if that first read is not open,
hmm
it's tough. It's tough to go to your second read
yeah, because you don't
because
have the time.
you don't have the time because the up front they're not they're short setting. So they're not going to they're just trying to hit them and kind of hold them like that, but they're not really backpedaling and setting like if it's a 5-step drop. So if you don't
hmm
hit that first read, a lot of times those D linemen get through there, and that's when you get a situation where Deshaun Watson sitting back there holding the ball and getting sacked. So a lot comes into play with this stuff. The line has to do their job. The receivers have to get open. If the receiver don't get open, Deshaun Watson has nobody to throw to. Therefore, he winds up eating the ball. But in this situation, they called a really good route concept with everybody running slants to the bottom because the safety was so far back on the Joku, and
hmm
it worked out for him. It worked out for him.
Yeah, so that's what we got to go to. Kevin, quick game, give them more options, quicker slants, or whatever you got to do. Just get the ball out. Offensive line is on their 90th guy, for crying out loud. Piece of shit. All right, let's go on to another play here. I was about to go too far in the film room. Kids don't need to hear
Right,
it in the film room. We'll say that
right,
for the episode that you need to be
right.
downloading and watching every Friday on YouTube, Coach E's YouTube page. Same page you're watching this on. Go ahead and watch the episode of the podcast, Coach E Game for All Seasons. Download it wherever you get every single podcast. But now we're on to the next play. Philadelphia has the ball back. It is 3rd and 1. It is 32 seconds left in the second quarter. 3rd and 1. Now, this is a very, very important play right here. So let's go ahead and push play. Oh, sorry, I didn't even break down the formation. So you have Jalen Hurts back in the shotgun again, typically this is what everybody likes to do. With a running back to the right of him, two receivers at the top of the screen, a tight end at the bottom, right on the D on the third down and one sign, and a receiver down with the pink shoes, A.J. Brown at the bottom of the screen. Looks like he's clearly one-on-one with Martin Emerson up there. And once again, the Browns are giving this look as if it's a zero blitz with man coverage all across the screen. So let's go ahead and push play and see what they got. Ball is snapped, and it is a zero blitz with man coverage behind him. The safety backed off to cover that tight end right there. But JOK comes off the edge. He does a nice little dip move to get around that tackle. He's so fast off the line and so explosive, and he can get so low. I'm sorry, he didn't beat the tackle. He beat the back. I'm sorry. The back had to come all the way across the formation to try to pick him up, which is pretty hard to do with a fast, explosive guy, whether it be a DB or linebacker or safety, especially a JOK. His first step off the line is so fast, it's going to be real hard for that running back to get over there. So this is the angle that I was telling you guys last week, that he let Jaden Daniels outside of the pocket by not taking that upfield shoulder, which is Jalen Hurts' right hand with the ball in it, the arm that he's throwing with. You always want to aim for that shoulder because at that point he has nowhere to go but into your arms. So he learned from his last mistake last game, went to that shoulder and got the sack. So what this does is still 20-something seconds left, and you already know so Philly is going to call timeout to try and kick a field goal to get some points before halftime. But as you can see, JOK gets off the ball so fast. Saquon Barkley is not able to come over there and block him. He tries, but he gives him that nice dip of the shoulder, so he has nothing to block him with, and goes ahead and makes that sack on a very important third down for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, this is a perfect call for this situation. With sending the house at him, basically in this situation, they're sending more guys than the Browns are sending more guys than the Eagles can block. So Jalen Hurts is going to have to get rid of it quickly. And we had good coverage on the backside. We were man to man, although we were kind of deep.
Yeah.
It was man to man, but it wasn't bump and run.
Right.
And they were basically the corners were basically banking on this blitz getting to him, because if it didn't, it could have been lights out.
Yeah.
For us.
What did it say? Lights out Irene?
Exactly. Yeah.
Definitely lights out Irene. So with that play, my bad, you was going somewhere else?
You're good. No, yeah, go ahead. You're good.
So that play that we just showed sets up this very next play. So now that sack bumps them all the way back to 4th and 9. It's 25 seconds before the half. They have a chance to hit with a 57-yard field goal. So back in the day, last year, I don't know if you guys remember the Indianapolis Colts game. Myles Garrett jumps over the line, blocking them, blocks the field goal. So he's known to do this before. So whenever teams see him lined up right over the center like that, they should already be on high alert that he's going to try and do something very freakishly athletic, because that's what he is, a very freakishly athletic guy. So your antenna should go up and be like, oh, my goodness, we got to fix this protection, or we got to slide somewhere, or somebody's got to stand up to prevent him from jumping over this line and being an athletic freak and blocking this kick. But you know how Myles is. Let's go ahead and tune in and see what happens. The ball is snapped, and guess what? Myles Garrett jumps over the center and guard tandem, blocks the field goal with his right hand. McLeod picks it up and does a scoop and score, which is a huge momentum shifter. Now, if you can see in slow-mo, Myles Garrett gets his big right paw up there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know anything about the kicking game or being in that situation. That kicker is nailing the ball, especially because it's 57 yards away. He has to kind of get that kick lower so it can travel through the wind instead of kicking it higher and letting the wind take it either right or left. So that ball is coming off that kicker's foot so hard, and that probably stung the hell out of Myles' hand, blocking that kick like that with that big old paw. So jumps over, gets that right hand up. McLeod just happens to be right place at the right time, picks it up, scoops, and score. Everybody blocks the right way, and might as well have fun, young man, do a front flip in the end zone and tie the game up with a big score, because Philadelphia was getting the ball back right after halftime. So this is a huge play for us right here.
Hey, it's like you said, man. if he lines up in there, you know something is about to happen.
Yeah.
And it's kind of wild to see this because I know some people who might be watching this say, "Well, isn't that illegal?" Well, that's only at certain levels. So in high school, you can't do that. You can't jump over the line, or you can't rush through the A gap, which is between the center and the guard. But in the pros, you
Hmm.
just can kind of come and go as you please. And he jumped over that thing. He actually, if you watch the play, he actually almost was offside because he flinched
Yeah,
and
he
then
did.
he jumped.
Yeah.
So it was almost a close call going against us, but he made a great play, man. And like you said, he just does things that just aren't explainable. That it's just amazing some of the stuff he does at that size.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
like, that landing alone, oh, well, the jump over alone, but that landing for him to
Mhm.
keep that balance and still have the presence of mind to get that right hand up at the perfect time and not
Right.
fall from landing like that. Mind you, this guy is 6'4" and a half, 6'5", 285 pounds, jumping and landing like that with the presence of mind and the balance to keep that ball up and get it back. So that's a hell of a play by Myles Garrett, getting that blocking in, McLeod getting that
hmm
scoop and score.
And this is a very important play for us because at the time we really didn't have much momentum going our way,
At all,
like you said,
zero.
and this changed the trajectory of what we were doing and everything, and took us in and on a positive note.
Hmm.
So this was a very important play at that point in time.
Now, speaking of a very important play, I'm going to fast forward. This is the last play that we got here. Y'all know how I feel about Kevin and his trickery with the short distances of the downs when the Browns get in offense. Fast forward, third quarter. 11 minutes and 18 seconds left. It is 3rd and 1. He takes Deshaun out of the game, inserts Jameis Winston. Now, we all know the running game has been working a little bit, good enough that you will be confident enough to turn around and hand it to Foreman just so he can go forward and get this freaking first down. But who gets in the way? Kevin gets in the way of Kevin. He has to be the smartest dummy in the room and show everybody how smart dummy is. And this is a prime example of it. So let's go ahead and push play and see how dumb Kevin is right here. Jameis Winston's under center. He sees the blitzer creeping up, changes to protection, sends somebody in motion, and guess who's sitting in motion? Cedric Tillman. And what do? They give the ball to him on a jet sweep. Now, this play would be sweet. It would be perfect if somebody laid hands and blocked the guy on the end of the line of scrimmage, which happens to be Brandon Graham, an NFL veteran who's only been playing the defensive end position for freaking 12 years. So he's seen this play 8,322 times. This makes 8,323 times because of Kevin. And he does what a normal veteran defensive end would do: stay home, wait for the cutback, makes the play. Now it's 4th down. So now you have another whole situation instead of just giving the ball to Foreman, going right up the A or B gap on either side, muscling them and getting the first down. But Kevin is the smartest dummy in the room and wanted to show everybody. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that is a major problem I have with him. And me and you have discussed this before, where he always feels like he has to be the smartest guy in the room. But I tell you, that's Brandon Graham is the name, right? Am I
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
It doesn't get any easier for him. Nobody blocks him.
At
So we have
all.
a we have the left tackle over there and a wing slash tight end. Neither one of him block. Neither one of them blocks him. The tackle blocks down, and then the tight end blocks out, and nobody blocks the man right in front of them, which is Graham. He just comes in and blows the play up. So I'm not exactly sure what happened, who missed the block, who was supposed to block him, but the tight end literally runs past him to go block someone else. I
So
don't understand that.
that's what I'm thinking. Well, hell, just what I know from the game of football. The tight end is supposed to get him and make the person with the ball miss the guy on the outside that you don't pick up because that's what the play is designed for. You get the man closest to the ball, but tight end just goes and blocks the wrong guy. Mind you, once again, horrible job by the tight end. But as a coach and Kevin, you cannot put him in this situation to get this missing blocking assignment and miss the whole thing and just screw the whole drive up. So thanks, Kevin, for being the smartest dummy.
So most of the time, uh, when you're in a blocking situation, you're taught. if you don't have a particular guy, block the most dangerous. So in this
Exactly.
situation, it seems to me that the tight end was supposed to block the most dangerous, and the most dangerous guy was Graham, who he ran past to block the outside linebacker, where he should have been blocking the most dangerous, which was Graham. So when he didn't block him, all Graham did was take 2 or 3 steps, stood there, and waited for the guy to come to him, and the play was blown up. So I just don't. I don't know if they just didn't anticipate him being there, but even if they didn't anticipate him being there, if he's there, you gotta block him. You
Got
gotta
to.
block him. So I don't even know what to say on that one. That was just a bad, poorly designed play.
I know what to say about that, HUD. That's the last play that's going to get us out of this damn film room before I start throwing these desks in here that we sitting in.
We don't want to do that. We
We
don't
don't
want
want to do that. We don't want to move furniture around here.
to.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you learned everything you needed to learn and everything you tuned in to learn about that loss that we took to the Eagles. Hopefully, these plays that we broke it down helps you understand the game of football even more, helps you enjoy the game while watching it, and helps you give your friends the tips that you learned from Coach E and Coach Hood in this episode of the Film Room. Thanks to Coach Hood for shooting by and breaking it down with me. Appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you, and thank you for having me.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, we shall see you next week in the film room. Class is dismissed.